But your booty got cleaning stuff.
No, it doesn't. It does not have its own Windex built in. What are you talking about? The booty's got cleaning stuff.
Its own antibacterial.
And then got nothing like that.
Yes,
it's
does.
indestructible itself, but I don't think it's like
no, there
got
are
germ gel in there.
Did I ever play what?
Did you ever play Fireboy and Water Girl?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
No.
Oh. No.
Fireboy and Water Girl. We have to play it, actually. I think it'd be a bonding thing.
Is it a video game? Is it a board game?
It's like a computer game.
I did bring my computer. So you can show me how to work things.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to do that. Also, did the video thing, is it working?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I just know it was airdropping for like...
Oh, that's good. We are...
forever.
I told my aunt, because I was running late this morning, and I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to leave in 10 minutes, and that's not going to happen. I'm like, good thing we're not professionals. Because
No. Good thing.
we would be fired immediately.
From each other or from ourselves?
From ourselves. Or like if we were recording in a studio or something, they'd be like, no, your time is up, dude, get out.
Well, you probably have to pay for time, right?
Yeah.
I have
No,
a
we don't
friend
do that.
who like records music and she pays to like go to a studio and record it. I think that's silly.
I mean, it's business.
Yeah. But I feel like I would hate to like pay to use a space. I feel like I would figure out a way to do it on my own. Hence.
But hence the absolute garbage quality. I mean, people are paying for quality, and then they turn around and sell their music, and then they're able to buy more studio time. We're cheapskates, so that's not us.
Skates?
Cheapskates. What are we confused about?
Sweepstakes? Cheap skates?
Cheap. It's not cheap steaks. That's gross.
Cheap
Steaks are not good.
Why doesn't that sound right?
Cheapskates?
Cheapskates.
Cheapskates.
I don't
Well,
think
it
I've
doesn't
ever
sound like
used
a
that
word anymore. No?
Sweepstakes.
But cheapskates.
I think there's too many words.
This is not a word.
We don't need all
It's
of
not
them.
a word. We're done. Okay, welcome back to... No, I forgot it. Darn it.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back to my aunt's attic.
I feel like we're sitting closer than we normally do.
So my cousin comes in. We're eating dinner. Me, my aunt, and uncle. We're eating dinner. And my cousin comes in a little bit late. He sits down. He fills up his plate. He said, I feel like everyone's really close to me. And we're like,
I get it.
pardon us for having the audacity to exist and eating dinner. Like,
No.
heaven forbid.
I get it. Oh my god, yesterday I was in class and a lot of my classes all my classes have like the same students are in all of my classes because like at this point like we're all comm majors, we're all about to graduate, like it's all the same people. So there's this kid who's in my morning class and my late class. And in my late class yesterday he's like, where do you live? And I'm
Creepy.
like, Syracuse? And he's like, so you commute? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I got that vibe. And my friend and I are like, what do you mean? And he's like, because you come into class at 9 in the morning and you look already defeated. And I'm like, I am, but I hate that you noticed. I hate that you knew that.
Oh my gosh, that's so
And I was
accidentally
like,
savage.
Other people can see me?
I am being
Didn't know.
perceived.
Didn't know that other people noticed when I came into class. He's like, yeah, you always got your keys jangling. Da, da, da. I'm like,
Is it not weird to think that other people have an idea about us
yeah.
and that
And-
we could be on the receiving end of, you know how we were talking about how I'll look at someone or we'll play that game.
And we just don't like them.
Well, that, and also where you're playing that game in a restaurant or something and you're creating a person's life. That could have been me. Someone could have been creating my life story about me and I never even realized I was being perceived by another person. Like, we exist in the sidescapes of people's lives.
I just feel like I try to fly under the radar. Like, I sit in the corner nearest the door. So I come in, shoop, right in my desk. Like, I try to literally, like...
In,
and
out,
I just, like, look down at my computer. But, yeah, and there's this girl in my class who I got partnered with for a project, and he announced the partners online. And so I saw her name, and I had no clue, like, who she was. I was just going to email her. But then she walked up to me, and she's like, oh, so we're partners? I'm like, how do you know who I am?
I'm glad you know, because I don't know.
Why does she know who I am?
Yeah.
How would she know? Is it because, like, he calls attendance and I say here, like, really stupidly?
Because there was a kid, his name, I'm dropping his name. His name was Mason in my sociology class. I sat in the far front corner because I'm a nerd. He sat in the far back corner on the opposite side.
That's me and this kid who said I look defeated.
Yeah?
He sits in the far back, I sit in the far front. Yeah.
We were on literally opposite sides of the classroom. We never once spoke to each other. But because when the teacher would call out people's names, or when she was introducing people in trying to learn people's names, I also tried to learn people's names. And so that's for the one introduction. He's like, hi, I'm Mason, and blah, 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 blah. And I always remembered it. Wow. And so one time he came in late and he didn't sign the attendance sheet, but the teacher wasn't strict about that. And so it was like at the end of class, I called out to him. I was like, Mason, do you want to go ahead and sign this? Mm-hmm. And I think he was a little startled that I knew his name. Right. And I'm like, but other people do listen. And it's just like, but why am I on the receiving end of your attention? But what? I don't exist in your world.
I hate that.
But yeah.
Yeah, like because we live right next to my sister's school. So every time I'm like there for an event or something, everyone's like, oh yeah, I always see you walking the dogs. I'm like, why can you see that? People shouldn't be... Well, I think I'm just not used to, like, being in a neighborhood. Because I didn't grow up... I grew up on, like, a dead end, like, and houses were only on the one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also I probably just had, like, no shame to just, like, run out in a towel after I showered if I had to grab something at the car or something. But, like, no one was gonna see. But then today I go out to my car and I have, like, my hair in, like, a...
twirly-whirly?
And I'm like, oh... There's a car. There's another car. There's someone walking their dog. Houses all around.
Yeah.
Scary stuff. Don't like that. I like privacy, I think.
I definitely don't like being observed doing my daily life.
Yeah.
I will do that. I will do that thing where I'll sit and wait and watch by the window, make sure the coast is clear before going to get my mail or literally anything. Because I know in my apartment complex right now, it's just me and a couple other people, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
But if they're outside, if somebody's outside doing something, I won't walk.
Same. No.
I won't go for my walks.
Or if my neighbors are out, like, because I don't want to talk to them, I won't go outside.
My problem is, it's the awkward, like, I'm on a walk, you come outside. Do I stop and talk to her, or do I just wave? Right. And then, if I'm walking towards you, where do I look? When do I wave? When do I acknowledge your presence? Like, how close do I have to be?
Wait, I never know how, when, like, say one person's walking towards you, you're walking opposite. When do I, like, how close? Like, when do I acknowledge you? Am I smiling at you the whole way? Or do I just look down at my feet?
That's just
I hate it.
It's the worst.
Because I will, like, jump the gun and I'll be like, do that white person smile where it's like...
That's gotten me in trouble.
Teeth.
That has gotten me into some trouble. Not trouble.
I think you told this.
Yeah, at the Walmart parking lot. I accidentally caught somebody's eye, I did the awkward white person smile, and they proceeded to turn around and try to talk to me. And I was like, that ain't it. That ain't it, dude. That ain't it. I was just trying to be not a jerk. Huh?
It's already almost 11.
I'm sorry I was late.
No. I don't care. It just feels like the day flew by.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm commandeering your day, by the way.
Okay.
We have work to do. So, not only...
Wait, I was going to say something else.
Okay.
You're
raising your hand.
I think I hate when people perceive me, because when I don't know that I'm being perceived, I'm not putting on an act.
That's good.
No, it's bad, because that means that I probably look like this. Or like making an RBF.
Cute
or like doing something stupid.
Who is it? Who is it on the Pens team? Who is it? Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. I can't remember who it is. But every time they're in the middle of a game, they zoom in on his face. He's got his tongue up his nose.
Ew, inside?
It's so funny. Oh my gosh. And then they'll like pan around to different people in the audience if there's like a celebrity or something, and they're just going about their business. They're eating their nachos. They're not paying attention. And it's like, let's leave people alone.
Yeah.
Let's not zoom and pan in and perceive them for the entire world to see. Let's not do that. Because it's going to be that one instance where like my nose is dripping and I'm like and I'm being gross.
Where's your blankie?
I did not bring it.
Why?
I knew I was forgetting something. I walked out of the house and I stood there. I was like, what am I forgetting?
Blankie.
I forgot my blankie.
Don't you have like a song or like a list you go through every time you leave the house?
I most certainly do not.
Oh.
I probably should,
You
considering
should get one.
how many times.
I got one and I don't forget stuff, usually.
My dad had a little rhyme to figure out everything he needed to do when he was closing out his... He used to be a truck driver, and there were certain things you had to do to prep your car or your truck for, I guess, closing. I don't know. What was it? Mirrors, miles, monitors, ding, dolly, door, diva, dyad. He told me that once, and I've always remembered it, and I don't know why. I don't know what any of it means. Check your mirrors, check your miles.
I have to play this. Hold on.
Mirrors, miles, monitor, ding, dolly, dollar, diva, dyad.
Mine is keys, phone, wallet, water, if I'm bringing a water bottle. Mask is still in there from COVID times. It's still in my song.
Gross.
I just skip over that one. Keys, phone, wallet, water, mask, lunch if I'm going to school, vest if I'm going to work, bag, backpack.
That's not a song. That's just a
no,
list
but it's
of
like
things.
it's like there's a jingle in my head. Like there's a rhyme, there's a rhythm. Keys, phone, wallet, water, mask, lunch, vest, bag, backpack, coat. Like it just makes sense. I don't know.
No, I do not have one of those because I feel like I leave the house for different things and I need different things, and so I can't make a list of those because I'll forget which list goes with which day and activity.
Okay, I'm gonna play this song for you. I really like it.
Okay. It's a good thing we're not professionals and getting dinged for all this nonsense.
Oh.
This is a song for when you want to make sure you've got everything before you leave the house. 5, 6, 7, 8, it's time to go. It's time to go, go, go. But before I go, I got to know if I got everything before I go out the door. Cars need keys, not cheese, just keys. Get the keys, please, not the cheese. Jeez, my back pocket is there, but the pocket is bare. What goes in there? My wallet. Get the wallet, there I got it. Put the wallet in my pocket over my derriere. Where's my cell phone? I bet it's in my hand. Yep. My lips are dry, but I gotta stay calm. Get my lippity lip bar. Is the oven on? Did I zip my fly? Yep. Did I properly affix a band-aid to my third nipple because it gets exceptionally hard and looks awkward? Check. Got my stuff, got it all. Let's go. Time to go out the door. Now I'm gone. Goodbye. See you later. Sayonara. Hasta la vista.
That is a masterpiece.
I think I had that memorized at one point.
That is a masterpiece. I will not be singing that ever.
It's a good one.
Wait. Can we hear my neck? Nope, only one good
You're
crack.
aggressive.
Darn it.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have a stroke if I do that.
I felt
Don't
like I
they say
had
that-
more than one good crack.
You'll have a stroke.
No. What?
Where did I hear that? Did you crack your neck?
That's
Someone
just like,
cracked their
oh, if you
neck.
crack your knuckles, you get arthritis. That's not what that is.
Some guy said that to me, and I got so mad.
That's not what that is, folks.
I'm always cracking my knuckles at work, so I don't know what to do with my hands. And some old guy was like, "You know, you're gonna get arthritis," and I was like, "Haha," and he's like, "No, seriously, you have to stop." One guy said that it would make my fingers fat, and that I wouldn't be attractive when I was old or something. And I was like,
Well, it's a good thing that
Oh.
everybody knows that men are stupid.
"Good thing you'll be there when I'm old to let me know." You don't think I'm attractive, because that's what I wanted, was for you to think that I was attractive.
Yep, that's my life.
Old
Just
man,
pleasing old men.
nasty.
So
Is
going
my
back to what I was
window?
going to say, we have work to do today. So
Oh.
we've got this, and then all I had for breakfast was a chicken salad sandwich, and it was not very good. I mean, it was fine.
Why was it not good?
Because it's not what I wanted.
It's already mosquito bite season.
Dude, I got bit 3 times on my ankle bone by the same fat mosquito, and then 5 seconds later I got bit by another mosquito on the other side of my ankle, and it's a problem.
Oh!
Boom, boom, right on the bone.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've got one
It's
that's
bad.
cooking up right here. Right here. And then the other.
So for our one listener that we still have,
Hi.
Irish
up?
spring soap.
You're gonna eat it?
No. You take a bar of Irish spring soap,
Put it
just
in
a
the
dry
microwave?
bar. No. And you just rub that on you.
Oh, we're talking about
Mosquitoes. Yeah. It's better than any kind of, like, gross bug spray with all that DEET chemical nonsense and everything. It's
What
not
is
gross.
DEET?
I don't know. I don't care. It's gross. But you literally just rub a bar of Irish Spring regular scented soap, and you're golden.
Did you ever put it in the microwave when you were a kid?
Can't say that I did.
It like explodes into like a flaky ball, and you can like compress it back down.
Guess what we're doing?
You want to do that?
I want to do that.
We can.
Cool.
I did it when I was a kid.
But also, this is the third attempt. We'll get there eventually. But we have this, so I want to grab lunch. We got gelato, and then I was thinking we could, after gelato, we could go and you could help me on the computer as far as getting clips and stuff.
Do you want to do that first? Since we're already here.
I was thinking we could go to Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
But if you don't want to, we don't have to. We can do
I
whatever.
don't know.
I just wanted to be,
What do you want to get for lunch?
I don't know, take me somewhere good.
You want me to take you out? Fancy?
With a pew-pew?
Do you want to go somewhere in Clinton?
I don't care.
I don't care either.
I just kind of want to go somewhere new.
Oh.
Because everybody wants to listen to us make lunch plans.
I don't know where to go. It's too much pressure.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. But,
Is my oven on? Nope. Did I zip my flag? Yup.
so we're going to the Creameria.
Yup, my cousin owns it.
Is she the one that studied in Italy?
Yes.
That is sick, bruh.
It's so cool.
My aunt told her niece, I think it was Michelle and Guy. Doesn't matter. Told friends of ours to go there, and they loved it, and it was really good.
That's so cool.
And so my aunt was very jealous that I'm going today, and I was like, "Do you want to come?" And she's like, "I gotta work," and I'm like, "That's a bummer."
You can bring her a pint.
Is it gonna melt?
We could bring a cooler. That's what we usually do, is bring like a little cooler. Because we usually take some home.
All right.
I gotta let them know I'm coming. Maybe my aunt will be there. Maybe not.
That'd be cool. Meet the family.
Yes, so my cousin owns it. It was just like a traveling cart situation. But now she has the shop. But so I lived with her and my aunt and some of my other cousins and my uncle during COVID for like a few months. And we went to the shop one day to like clean up or hang out or set something up for the season. And it was 8 of us all living together, so we all went to help out. And one of her supporters, one of her customers, like walked by and saw all of us like hanging out in there with no masks. Like we lived together. But they emailed her and they were like, I'm just letting you know, I don't know if you were aware, but there were like 7 or 8 people in the shop last night laughing, having a good time, no masks on. Like they were mad.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she's like, oh, sorry, we live together. Sorry.
We got an email from somebody because we sent out, me and my coworker, when we still kind of had like the same email list before I separated my business, we sent out I'm doing so good. Yeah. Automated messages. When people don't show up for a while, it sends it out and says, hey, we miss you, come back, blah, blah. When we forgot to turn off the automated messages during COVID, and a couple people got those messages when we were supposed to be shut down, and one person emailed back very angrily, I think it's so unprofessional that you would still work during this, blah, blah, blah. And we had to like email people, be like, we're sorry, that we're shut down, we're not working.
Yeah.
Please don't hate us. That was awkward. They were not happy. I'm like, half of me is just like, mind your business. Mind your business, folks.
Do you want to drive to Clinton?
I always want to drive.
Man.
Why do you want to drive?
No.
Why?
Nah.
Why do you say man like that? Man.
I don't know why I felt like I wanted to drive, but I don't have to. But there are a few places I want to go. Like, there's a, like, little antique-ish place next door.
Heck yeah.
I thought you were going to say heck no.
Heck
And then
yeah.
my sister went to, like, some consignment shop, like, a few doors down, and she got her prom dress there. And not that I want a prom dress, but I want to check it out.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
I want to go right now.
Okay, bye, folks. We're done. Catch up
I'll
with
get you
the
next
side.
week.
We might have to, because I got nothing. My week was extraordinarily boring.
Probably same.
Still living on my aunt.
What? Still living in my apartment?
Still living at my aunt and uncle's house.
How's that?
Fine. I've actually managed to keep my routine pretty similar to what I would do at my own house.
Nice.
I make myself comfortable there because I am comfortable there. Although my cousin last night, he was asking for it. He was asking for it. Death. He kept flicking me. Or he kept threatening to flick me, and it was freaking me out. There was a whole wide living room to go sit in, and he chooses the seat right next to me.
I hate, like, I'm not touching you.
And he kept looking at me, too.
I hate it.
He kept looking at me.
I freak out.
He kept looking at me, and I'm like, quit looking at me.
Although-
Because he was, like, threatening. He was like, it was like that daunted, like, I'm gonna get you kind of look, and I'm like, I'm gonna strangle you. I'm gonna smother you in your sleep. You're so annoying.
I love when people are so ticklish that you can just, like, hover and wiggle your fingers, and they're like, ah, and they freak out. I love that.
But then they were making fun of my short little arms, and then he put his elbow out like he was gonna poke me with his elbow, and I put my elbow out like I was gonna poke him back, and our elbows smacked, and it hurt.
Ouch. Oh my god, I kicked the corner of the TV stand so hard the other day, I, like, bruised, like, this whole section.
Oh no!
It was...
Mosquito bites are itching! Oh no!
Okay, that was not my fault.
Oh no! No, I accidentally touched it,
Ugh!
and it got itchy.
Yeah, one time I had one, I didn't know, and someone was like, oh, that looks like it itches. And then it,
And then
yeah,
it
itched.
did. So I heard it's because we're allergic to mosquito spit.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I don't get bit. Like, you do get bit, you're just not allergic to it.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm allergic to them. And that's why some
Hate
people
them.
blow up. Because they're super allergic to mosquito spit. I am just slightly frustratingly, annoyingly.
Well, the thing is, like, I can't... Oh my god, look, it's right next to... I can't leave them alone. Like, I have this crater from when I was a kid that I just scratched it, and then picked it, and then
That's
picked
what I had
it
on my
more.
forehead.
You picked it, and so it became a dent?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was my chickenpox scar.
Look, can you see that, like, crater
Oh, I
next
do,
to it?
yeah. That's awesome. I love that.
Yep, that was a mosquito bite someday.
Yep, my two chickenpox scars right on my forehead are from digging at chickenpox, and then the rest of my acne scars are from not listening and not picking. And so yeah, I did all that, and I got craters.
I have such a bad habit.
Yeah.
I will pull a hangnail until it is all the way up my hand. I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any like self-destructive
Yeah.
habits other than that?
Other than that, I pull out my baby hairs like I said last week.
Uh-huh.
But that's not like a because I want to pull out my hairs. It's like a because they're touching my face.
Yeah,
But that's probably still not great.
that's not great. I
Um,
plucked out my hair as like a self.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't good.
I like-
stopped that.
I like honestly tried it.
I was just like, I'm gonna see if
Well,
this
it's like instead of
self-harm
like
mode
picking
is...
my scabs, I was like, can I pluck my leg hair instead? Not as fun for me.
Yo, plucking your leg hair
Wasn't as fun for
hurts
me.
like the
Yeah, it hurts.
dickens.
It hurts too much and like too specifically.
Yeah, like I've never had my legs waxed. I was actually thinking about that. My fuzzy thighs, I was just like, instead of shaving them, I should get them waxed.
Don't they say that if you do it like for long enough, then you just like stop
Yeah.
growing hair?
Because you're ripping out the roots, and eventually you can rip it out enough where they just don't come back. But I was like, instead of shaving, I think I should get my legs waxed.
Professionally or yourself?
Probably professionally, because I'd mess that up royally.
You think?
Where was I going with this? Oh, but I told myself, I was just like, oh, if people wax their legs, then it's probably the same if I pluck the hairs out.
Oh, I used to pluck out my armpit hairs.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Ow.
But it was bad for my eyesight.
Oh, yeah.
Because my eyes would strain because I was staring
Yeah.
literally an inch away from my eyeballs.
Yeah.
But I would do that instead of shaving them because I thought it like looked better because you couldn't see the roots.
Yeah. Well, that causes like ingrown hairs.
Shaving, or
No,
plucking
like plucking. If you
Probably
don't,
both.
if you don't do it properly, then it like. I don't know. Is this
This is disgusting.
medically?
Again.
If this is
Here we go.
medically correct, I don't know. Probably not. I'm pulling this out my butt. But I feel like if you pluck it and you're not pulling it the right way, then the root will kind of turn, and that's the hair.
Intrigue.
That's well. And then also when the hair grows up, it can grow like underneath the skin, and that's an ingrown hair and everything like that. But my idea is just like if you pluck it the wrong way, then the root kind of gets tilted and grows the wrong way, and then you get lots of ingrown hairs. That's just the way I've always pictured it. Probably completely incorrect. But then I'm thinking to myself, if you wax it, then everything's going the proper direction.
But don't you wax in multiple directions?
No. Or at least I don't think so.
Well, you're supposed to if your hair grows in multiple directions.
You're supposed to go with the grain, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like say like some of my armpit hairs grow up and some of them grow down. Then I've seen on TikTok like they'll go one way and then go the other way to get all of them. Right?
Yeah. So if you're going like, if a hair is going up and you pluck it sideways. This is a stupid
You have
conversation.
to do that though.
This is a stupid conversation. This is just weird. I don't know.
I'm afraid I'm gonna die from an ingrown hair now because someone on TikTok did.
What?
Yeah.
What?
It like got infected and like went to their brain and then.
So that's not, they didn't die from an ingrown hair. They grew.
Well, they didn't know they had the
Died
ingrown hair and then
from-
they got septic and then
Yeah.
they got septic and then they died. So.
That is a really gross way to go. This is very itchy.
Unfortunate. Stop itching it.
It's really itchy. It is driving me to distraction. Speaking of distraction, I brought the bane of my existence. So I've been struggling real hard with kicking my addiction to fanfictions. It's a problem. And so instead of reading the fanfiction, I was like, let's just go straight to the source. And so here it is. Here's the source of all my issues. I have decided to reread the stinking series.
Oh no!
Because a fourth book is coming out. Norris the Havoc, this just jerk of a person, she's just driving me to insanity. Coming out in, what is today, the 11th? Yeah, 2 days from now. Coming out with a fourth book. After 10 years of the first trilogy, she's coming out with the Sunshine
Did you hate
Court.
when that happens?
The series is complete. The trilogy is complete. She's coming out with another focus. There's another character that this is focusing on, so it's kind of like a secondary... What are they called?
Addition.
I forget what they're called.
I don't know what we're talking
There's
about.
the trilogy,
Series.
and then like a standalone... Not a standalone, but it is a standalone, but it's not.
A single.
I don't know.
If it was music, you'd probably call it a single, right?
I don't know.
Instead of the album.
Sure. Yes.
I burnt my finger so bad it looks like a zombie finger.
Oh! I did too.
Whoa!
The tip of this finger... This is how stupid I am. So, I've had my car for, 4 months?
Uh-oh.
And I already had to replace the caliper because it seized up. And my dumbass, I went to the auto store to get the part that I needed. And when I got out of my car, though, I wanted to check to make... Because it had been smoking at one point. The rotor was heating up really bad. And so I was just checking to make sure everything was still able to function enough for me to get back home. I was just like, yeah, it's putting off a lot of heat. And so just instead of just trusting like the radiating heat, I touched it.
Not fast enough, though. Because you could do like a... But you
Yeah,
didn't.
I touched it. I touched it. I touched the rotor and it, yeah. So don't do that, folks. Don't be dumb.
I
Like
didn't know.
me.
I didn't even know that was a part of a car.
The rotor?
Never heard of it.
No,
I think
it's...
that's different. I think that's plumbing.
So you have your calipers. Okay, so you have your calipers that hold the brake pads. We're talking cars for a second,
That's
folks.
enough. I'm good.
Nope, we're talking cars. So you have your caliper, which is when you hit your brakes, the caliper, it squeezes the brake pads onto the rotor, which is the thing that is turning. And so when it squeezes it, then it stops the wheel. So if the caliper is seized up, it means it's pushing the brakes onto the rotor even when you're not hitting the brakes.
Oh, that's not good.
And so it heats the rotor up even when it's not supposed to. And so my rotor was like, everything, the brake pads and the rotor and everything were like smoking. And because the caliper was seized up, I need to get a new one of those that moved nicely.
Squeezy.
Yeah. Was properly squeezy and not just squeezed tight the whole time. That's what she said. So yeah, I've had my car for 4 months, and so the troubles begin. And speaking of that, Friendly Honda here in Fayetteville, they're on my shit list because they were supposed to send my information as far as the old recall on my car, or the recall on my old car. They were supposed to send the information to Honda. They were going to open a case, and then they were going to call me for the buyback program. Well, I'm waiting around, I'm waiting, and they told me they were going to call. Nobody's calling me. I'm waiting. Finally, I'm like, okay, this is stupid. So I call them, and I'm like, hey, somebody was supposed to call me. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a case for you. We're like, what? And so I read off the thing that I have, the receipt thing, and they're like, yeah, they sent it to corporate. Call corporate. So they gave me the corporate number. I called corporate.
I hate this.
And they're like, yeah, we have a case for you, but it's not complete. We can't move anything forward until we have the complete case. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they were like, we're missing this and this. Pictures of different things on my car. And so now I have to go back to Friendly Honda and be like, hey, can you maybe do your job properly and send the things that they need? But then I'm like, I'm annoyed on all fronts because I was told they were going to call me. They're not. So I'm sitting with my thumb up my butt this whole time, waiting around for something that's never going to happen and money I'm never going to get because they're not doing their job properly. Friendly Honda didn't send what they needed.
I'm sure that they do
and then
on
Honda, the corporate Honda, didn't even ask for what they needed. They're just sitting there like, why aren't you people communicating as well?
So
and I'm just left in the middle of nothing. Like,
right?
I'm so annoyed.
They probably are doing it on purpose, right?
I don't know, but now I'm going full Karen mode.
Do it.
I'm going Karen. You know, this issue has cost me $18,000 and 4 or 5 months of my time waiting around for something that apparently they're not moving forward with because they're stupid. I'm so annoyed. So, Honda, if you make your cars correctly, they're reliable, which is very frustrating because you suck. Unless you want to sponsor us, then you're great.
Sponsor us!
Yeah. Anywho.
Have you ever used a bidet?
Yes.
Where? When? How?
My
Why?
grandma's. My grandma has one. Not a fan.
Meaning, you know what?
I think I'm just not used to it.
Are not for the person who is in a rush, aka me. I'm always in a rush. I don't have time to wet, dry. I don't have time for that. I just have time to dry with the paper towel and leave.
I don't trust that I would get clean enough.
Yeah, right? But also, how clean are you with just using a freaking toilet paper?
So, is the bidet supposed to replace the toilet paper?
Yes.
See, I don't think I would get clean enough. Because I would feel like I would need power wash.
But someone said, like, imagine you had poop on your hand. You wouldn't just wipe it off with a dry piece of paper. That's not clean.
Well, no.
You'd use water.
But your booty got cleaning stuff.
No, it doesn't. It does not have its own Windex built in. What are you talking about? The booty's got cleaning stuff.
Its own antibacterial.
And then got nothing like that.
Yes,
it's
does.
indestructible itself, but I don't think it's like
there are
germ gel in there.
Your vagine's got self-cleaning stuff.
That has that.
Your booty hole got too.
But you're not peeing out of your V. It doesn't need to, like, yes, it needs to clean, but not for the purpose of going to the bathroom. What needs a self-cleaning function is your B-hole and your P-hole. Those don't have that. The same function that the... Also, men.
Period. Just men. Period.
Wait, but guys wouldn't use a bidet if they pee.
What?
It's not for the same. Guys would only use a bidet for pooping.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. Although dudes should.
Yes,
dudes should wipe their pee.
They don't.
They don't.
No, but that's my point is, how are you going to be a guy, you pee standing, and then the bidet?
Well, guys can, in fact, pee while sitting.
It's
actually much more sanitary to pee while sitting. And if anybody goes, oh, it's not manly, man up, actually, and sit down.
But then what?
Well, there's actually, I forget where I was. Maybe it was on TikTok. Maybe it was on something. I forget what I saw. But, like, this guy goes to prison. He gets his new roommate. His roommate is there for life. And number one rule, when he walks into his cell to meet his roommate, the guy was just like, yeah, here, we sit down to pee. And the guy was like, what? He was like, yeah, this is my home. This 7x5 square is my home the rest of my life. And when you stand up and pee, there's a spray zone. That's not happening here. You sit down and pee. So, like, guys, it's not a girly thing to have to sit down and pee. It's just quite sanitary. You're gross. You're gross. And I also think it's really weird that they just have urinals lined up along the walls in public places. And it's
so
just like,
weird.
Ew.
But I think in Italy they just have like holes in the ground.
You know, in ancient Rome, basically it was just one giant porta potty, and there was like a bunch of holes along the side, and there was a communal sponge. Your face just went full RBF. There was a communal sponge. Yeah, they would pass that sponge on a stick around. Yeah.
That's enough of that.
I'm so glad that I didn't live in those times. I would just very gladly
it would be all that you knew.
Yeah. And urine tans animal hides, and so families would all just pee in a communal bowl and use that to tan hides. Yeah.
You know that human hair soaks up oil? Have you seen that? Like, if there's an oil spill, they can collect hair. There's like a company that collects hair from like barbers and hair, like whatever. And you literally, like
sawdust.
Like you pull it through the water and then clear water comes and the hair holds the oil.
Yeah, I get that.
It's so cool.
That is pretty cool.
I've used a bidet one time. It was my cousin's, the one we're going to see today. So.
Well,
she has a bidet in her house, and I had to try it. I didn't have a choice because she doesn't have toilet paper. And
that's not okay.
Didn't have a choice.
That's not. I
tried to hold it.
I don't think a bidet is something that you have to force somebody into. That's not okay.
Came with a remote. Don't love that. That doesn't feel sanitary. Although, it's not, but it doesn't feel like it is.
No, it really doesn't.
And there was like a heated seat situation. I didn't know. There's too many buttons.
You know what I can't do now? Since COVID, I cannot pump gas without hand sanitizer afterwards.
I hate
that. And I also can't handle money without hand sanitizer afterwards.
You'd hate my job. I'm touching all the money.
Yeah,
sweaty money.
Like
some men in the summer will hand me money that is wet.
Yeah, no, I remember those days when I worked at the bookstore.
Yeah, but this is hardware. People are coming in from their outside projects to get, like, mulch and stuff.
Yeah.
Out of the jeans, a wet bill. Thanks.
This is just what I wanted for the day. Yeah, yeah. No, I know I told you about the guy who would come in, like clockwork, to get the new issue of Playboy, and would hand me his cash.
Nah.
With really soft hands.
Nah, forget about that. That sucks. Nah.
I was like, this is one of those instances where you can put the money on the counter. And I will get it from there. You don't have to hand it right to me.
Men shouldn't be allowed to have long fingernails either.
No. Men need to have, like, rugged, calloused hands.
But clean.
With their no.
You want dirt in the fingernails?
Not so much in the fingernails.
On the hands?
The fingernails can be clean, but the cracks and the calluses...
They can be cracked.
They can be cracked and calloused, and then they can have dirt in the little lines of their hands. That's a hard-working man right there.
I want them rough, but I think I need them clean. Not soft.
No, I can't.
Mm-mm.
Then again, if any man ever touches me, we're gonna have a problem.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about aesthetically.
It's weird. Like, I saw this one TikTok of a lumberjack guy, and he just had, like, ruggedly dirty hands. And I was like, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's good, in fact.
I don't know. I never, in no context, ever need to see a man's foot, ever.
I
Go to the beach with socks on. I don't care. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see
I'm
it.
so completely, what's the word? Not irrelevant. Yeah.
Conditioned.
No. What's the word of indifferent? That's the word. Oh jeez. Oh, I'm blanking so hardcore. I'm completely indifferent toward feet because I have to massage feet all the time. And people are like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to shave." Wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't said anything, ladies. Don't care. It's just the physical, the on top. I just don't care. And then my coworker was asking me, he was like, "How do you deal with like really hairy men?" I'm like, "I just use more lotion." What do you mean? I just use.
I don't care if a man is hairy.
More. Yeah,
I had a best
care.
friend in high school. He shaved his legs a bunch.
Was he a swimmer? Swimmers do that.
I think so. Don't think so.
Yeah, swimmers will let their, like, I know girl swimmers, they'll let their leg hair and everything grow out real long during the season, but then once competitions start, they'll shave, so they're nice and smooth. And because they have the drag, like during practices, they want the drag for more strength and everything, and then during competition, they just, woo! Like a bullet.
Like a bullet.
Like a bullet.
Interesting.
My ankle's itchy.
Stop itching it.
I can't. It's so bad.
You're making me itchy.
I'm sorry.
I hate ankle ones.
They're the worst.
I hate anything that's in like a crack, like if it's in like the crack of my knee.
Oh my god.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate all of them actually.
Face ones are real bad.
Forget about those. Those I feel like go away the fastest though.
They do.
I'm not really itching them.
They do.
On a knuckle.
Oh no. The toe knuckle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I need to amputate at that point. I'm just done. Oh my god, it's the worst. So yeah, where I got the mosquito bites. We were sitting on our roof during the eclipse.
Oh yeah, the eclipse happened.
How about that? Did it happen? Are we sure? Because I couldn't see a thing.
Well, I just know that it got really dark.
It did.
I liked that part.
That was cool.
That. But
I took a video of it, but unfortunately my camera brightened everything too much. You couldn't tell how dark it was.
I had to darken it to match.
Yeah, I was annoyed. So yeah, that was cool for the minute and 2 seconds that it was dark.
Anticlimactic.
'Tis it was.
I was really afraid that it was gonna be like mad traffic and like I was kind of hoping the world would end, honestly. Like, I'm ready.
Well, they do say it's a sign of the end times.
I'm ready.
With how many different things.
Let's go.
It wasn't quite like, here's your sign that it is the end times, but it is the end times. But who knows how long the end times will stretch on. Wait for it.
But
Oh, no, it didn't come. It just did the little throat pop. Never mind. That's unfortunate. Sorry, guys, you don't get graced by my
stop itching your ankles, making
Look
me
how
itchy.
bad it is!
Well,
Boom,
because
boom,
you're itching
boom.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a horrible trifecta. You ever had like two on top of each other?
Yes.
Bad.
Oh my gosh.
Ew.
No,
Have you ever sucked it with one of the suckies?
No, I have Afterbite. I have Afterbite.
I only like Afterbite if it stings so bad because then I feel like it's working.
Yeah.
I don't want to put in a like little ointment. That's boring. I like the little like sticks that come with like probably alcohol in them, and it like burns.
That's what Afterbite is.
Well, I have Afterbite cream.
No, I have an Afterbite. It's like a liquid. It's like
Stick.
a baking soda and something mix or whatever.
And it burns like crazy.
Well, if the wind is open.
It's open. Love that.
But if you put it on right after you get bit, it's gone. I unfortunately waited too long, and it's.
I don't even know when I get bit. I don't feel it.
Oh, you don't feel it? Oh, it
Not
hurts.
usually.
Well, I guess I only feel it when it's like really on my ankles because it's shallow.
Stop itching your ankles. You're making me go crazy.
Sorry.
You're making me crazy.
I'm sorry. It's really itchy.
I've like been a kid and I just like given on my butt cheek. I'm like, how did that happen? Did that ever happen to you as a kid?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah.
The itchy is making my entire foot and shin itchy, though. It's a problem. Look at this book. Oh my god, I love it so much.
It's so cool.
I actually started highlighting. Look how many highlights are in it.
Of like what? What are you
Just
highlighting?
really poetic, just like hit you hard moments, lines that are just like, holy cow. There's so many in it. There are so many. Or like I'll highlight things that I already know are like huge foreshadow, or like moments that are completely, like, character setups. Like, this is a defining trait of this character. Like, there's one line that Andrew says, and he's... No, actually, we're going to back up. I just saw this one. Coach Wymack, he was just like, your opinion has been duly noted and dismissed. And I'm like, that is so Wymack.
Duly noted and dismissed.
So that's getting... that's got highlighted, and then Kevin tells Neil, he's like, you play like you have everything to lose. And if that ain't the truest thing, because he quite literally has, like, everything to lose. And then another one that I highlighted, spoiler alert, this is, like, the first chapter, whatever. So, for people who don't know, I don't think I mentioned this is The Foxhole Court. This is by Nora Sakavic. It was a self-published thing. We're gonna
so corny.
Oh my gosh, it is such an amazing series. Like, people are obsessed with this because it's so good. It is unhinged in the most chaotic of ways. I highly recommend it to literally everybody. But Coach Wymack had troubled youth, blah blah blah, issues with his parents, whatever. He starts a program at a university, XE. It's a made-up sport. It's kind of a cross between actual lacrosse and hockey and soccer. It's just like, Neil calls it a bastard sport. But Wymack starts this team of complete rejects of just, bottom of the barrel kind of kids who need second chances. And
this is so corny. I love it.
It's so good. And Neil asked, he's like, why are you trying to recruit me? Like, I'm nothing. I'm not good enough. He's just like, this is about second chances, Neil. Second, third, fourth, whatever. As long as you get at least one more than what anyone else wanted to give you. Is that not so amazing? And I'm like, Wymack is choosing just really rough kids, just from all kind of crazy backgrounds and everything. And like you said, it's just like, I don't care how much of an asshole you are, you're getting a second chance. I'm not giving up on you. And yeah, and so frankly, the team kind of sucks because they can't get their poop in a group. But yeah, it's so stinking good. But then Andrew also has this one line that he's driving like an absolute lunatic after he picks up Neil from the airport, and he's like, "Don't be so afraid to die." And I'm like, bro. And if you know, okay, not that I'm not going to talk about the whole stinking book, but that line is such a monumental thing for Andrew to say because of reasons. Because of so many reasons. Don't be so afraid to die. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm highlighting the crap out of this book because there are just so many great one-liners. It's just fantastic. I highly recommend it, folks. The first book is The Foxhole Court. Read it. Enjoy it. Yeah. I could go on. I'm addicted to these books. I'm addicted to fan fiction. I'm trying to kick it, but it's bad. It's great. It's amazing. Anywho.
Fan fiction addiction.
Yeah, it's real. It's so real. What else happened this week?
Do I have any addictions like that?
I feel like you would know.
Yeah.
When it consumes TikTok, every moment of your waking life?
No, nothing.
I haven't been on TikTok much at all.
Good for you.
I get bored too easily. I'll flip through. I'm like, I don't care. Ugh, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, I skip through almost every video.
I'm like, I just don't care anymore. It's a
not good.
Select few things in life that I care about anymore.
That's sad.
All of them being fan fiction. And it's a problem.
I can't believe you don't want to watch those after movies because those are made from fan fiction. I don't get it. But why?
Okay, first and foremost,
I'm talking about the after.
I'm not talking all fan fiction. I'm talking the specific books that I have grown to love so much that it consumes my every waking thought.
What are they called? After we fell, after we collided, after ever happy.
And what are those about?
And then the other one is about the newest one. I haven't seen it yet. I forget what it's called. They're about toxic relationships.
And guess what? I could not care less about
toxic relationships.
Relationships. Period. I don't care. Actually,
but they're so funny and horrible.
I'll watch them with you. But just to make fun of them. Absolutely.
That's what I do. That's all I do. I don't watch them be serious.
Hey, I'm free for the day. Let's watch it.
All of them.
You underestimate my ability to sit and be a couch
I can't
potato.
do that.
I certainly can.
See, I don't ever really go to the movies because I don't like to sit for that long. in a theater.
In a theater is one thing, but if you watch it in your home, I could sit for quite literally 24 hours a day if I wanted to.
I have to be doing something else. Like, every time I've ever binged a show, I'm just listening to it and, like, doing my chores.
I do have to have, well, no, if I'm binging something, I do have to have my phone to every once in a while do something, or have a book to take just, like, a mental break from one thing. But no, I can sit and do nothing. I'm the laziest person you'll ever meet.
I'm lazy. I just can't.
I think I binge watched all of The Haunting of Hill House. I think I binge watched that entire thing in one sitting. I was up till like 4 a.m. It was great. I love that show.
Is it like Italian culture to hate when people's hair is wet? I think it is.
I don't know. I'm white.
Like, if I went like and saw my family right now, they'd be like, "Your hair's wet. Why didn't you dry your hair before you went out?"
You're gonna catch a cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So me and my aunt and uncle watched a movie. What was it called? Love Again or something. Just because find something to do. Find a rom-com. And the whole time I'm watching it, I've got like my stank face on. I'm like, ew. And they start kissing and I'm like, ew.
Like, I hate watching people kissing.
Ew. I was like, they're in public. And my aunt and uncle are both just like, it's romantic. It's cute. And I'm like, it's gross.
Gross.
And then, so the whole premise of it was this writer who was trying to write a paper or write an article on Celine Dion going on tour and whatever. And so Celine Dion was in it. Her music was featured. And the song, what is it?
And
All By Myself.
All by
So that starts playing. I start singing. I'm like, all by myself. I wanna be all by myself. That's not even close to the notes. But anyway, I start singing that, and my uncle is just like, I don't understand. Like, sharing your life with someone is the most beautiful, greatest thing that could ever happen. I'm like, I beg to differ. Potatoes exist. That's the greatest thing.
A relationship is one thing. There's like 100 different ways to cook a potato.
Right? Potato. I love it.
And you only really need, like, the main 4. French fries. Baked, mashed,
Bacon.
scalloped.
What is it? Bacon, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Exactly.
Yeah. Potatoes. I love potatoes.
You have to try twice baked. I can't believe you never had one.
Yeah, I'm
It's
down
great.
for that. Where can we get one of those?
Where do you say get one of them? You have to make it. You
You can't
like,
get one of them?
No.
Can't like go to a restaurant and have a twice baked potato?
Like where?
I don't know. Take me somewhere new. I don't know.
I don't know where we're gonna go.
Potato!
Where are we gonna go for lunch? I'm stressing about this.
Don't stress. There's no reason to stress.
No, I already did.
But you have to pick because you have...
This is why I'm stressing.
No, just pick a place that you like to eat. I don't... Like... Don't you have a list of places that are, like, accommodating to you in a good way? You have some places that are just like, wow, there's, like, no vegetarian options here. We're not going to go here. And this has a nice vegetarian option here, so we're going to go here. Isn't there... you have a list? Every vegetarian has to have a list.
No. I don't really be going out, like, ton.
We have to stop going out because me and my friend... Or, you know Natalie. Me and Natalie went out to eat because I wanted Cheesecake Factory's bread.
Mm-hmm.
The brown bread.
Is it chocolate?
No, it's not chocolate. It's whole wheat.
Someone on TikTok said it was chocolate.
No, it's whole wheat.
That's why I was like,
There's actual whole oats on top of
well,
it.
I figured it was, but then she was like, chocolate bread, and I was like...
It's just because it's the dark brown bread. I
okay,
think.
well.
Chocolate bread.
Anyway.
Actually, chocolate zucchini bread.
Good.
Bombing, dude. Oh my gosh, it's better than cake.
Really good.
I
almost went to Cheesecake Factory the other night, but they were...
$80. $80 for me and Natalie. We did get an appetizer, but for an appetizer and 2 entrees
We're
with
not going
water,
there.
we had water. $80.
We're not
And I'm
going
like,
there.
we're done. If we ever go out to eat again, the most fancy we're getting is Red Robin.
I do like Red Robin.
Even that's gonna be pushing it probably soon. But like, yeah,
Everything.
$80 freaking dollars.
I know, I went to Destiny the other night. We almost went to Cheesecake, but it was packed. And then we went to, like, some burger place, and my burger was $18.
Yeah, insanity.
They all were. They were all, like,
Insanity.
$18 or $17. I was like...
I saw a video of a family going to McDonald's back in 1990 something or other.
Oh, my God.
And they got like 2 Big Mac meals and 2 kids meals and whole sodas and everything for like $12.
How much were people making back then?
You can get one single meal at a fast food place for $12 now.
Maybe. That's
Maybe.
like not even including the drink.
That's not even large. You have to get like a small.
Yeah.
If you want a small sized meal, it's going to cost you $12. That's
I know,
hate
because a
even calling it
single like
meal.
Happy Meal right now is like $5 or $6. But it's like the French fry. It comes with like 4 French fries in a little paper bag,
Yeah.
and then like bleached apples.
Well, I still
Wait, but how
remember-
much money were people making back then? Like per hour?
It's not a matter of what they were making per hour. It's the ratio between what you were making and what
But
the
yeah,
cost of
that's
living.
what I'm wondering. Is like what was?
Well, way back when, I don't have the exact numbers and everything, but the fact that the cost of living has basically tripled,
Yeah.
and the minimum income has not even doubled. Not even close. I don't even think it's like a half of what it should be.
That's freaky weird, bro.
Like the escalation, the inflation, and everything is completely unreasonable. There is no survivable way. Every single person right now is living barely paycheck to paycheck.
Is it gonna change? Is it like is what is happening right now like a sick?
Do you want to talk politics? I don't think you want to talk politics.
Well, I'm honestly just curious because some people are like waiting around for kind of like the market. I don't know what these words mean that I'm saying. This is just what I've heard. The market to change because I guess it goes through like
There are waves.
periods.
Yes.
Or is what I'm wondering is this this motion or is it this motion?
Unfortunately, it's the constant inflation because of it's a political problem. It's the way in which we're spending money is not allowing for the proper rise and fall of the market. What should have been falling by now is still skyrocketing because of the way things are being spent.
Do we need to leave the country or is this everywhere?
We need new people in government.
That's not gonna happen.
Because I promise you, our government right now is just absolute... We're going to be nice. And by that, I'm not going to say anything.
Can I ask who you're gonna vote for? Or is that inappropriate? I genuinely don't know.
I have not looked into all of the candidates, but I do know who I'm going to vote for. And it ain't Biden.
Me neither.
If people, I'm sorry, like, I don't care where you stand politically. I don't care what side of the aisle. You vote for who you think is going to do the best for your country. I don't care who that is, as long as you genuinely think it's best for your country and for the economic standings and everything, do what you think is going to be best. But if you think for 1 second that the answer to that is Biden, you are absolutely freaking delusional. You're not going on off of what is good for the country and what's good for the economic standings and everything. You're going off of your stupid emotions because you're like, oh, he's gonna fight for everyone. No. The Biden administration right now is literally the reason that people are like suicidally financially crisis. He has put this country in such a financial crisis and people are like, no, he's great because, happy feelings. Get so freaking for real. Be so freaking for real right now. Who was in office when the economy was great? I don't care what your feelings are. I don't care if people said hurtful things. I do not care about your feelings. I care about the economic standings and the fact that people can literally not put food on their table. That's what I care about. I don't care if you hurt your feelings. Sorry.
What did you do during COVID
Not sorry.
since you were shut down?
Well, I had to get unemployment for
Oh.
a few. But the moment I was able to go back to work, I went back to work.
Mm.
Whereas other people, I'm going to just throw people under the bus right now. So many people stayed on unemployment because technically speaking, they were making like a more solid paycheck on unemployment. That's another reason why the economics has just completely plummeted. Is because people are stealing money that is not actually available. It's like you're printing off money to give to people, and that's what inflation is. Like, that's why there's too much money and not enough everything else going on. Like, people are just not having common sense. we live in a capitalistic society. As much as I hate it, as much as like the idea of socialism is beautiful, we are not a socialistic country. It will never ever work. So let's stop thinking it ever will. So what needs to happen is actually get into a capitalistic society that is run and funded by actual decent human beings who actually work for what they need to do, put money where it actually needs to go, help people out when they actually need it, and not have people just mooching off of a system because some people do actually need it, absolutely. Whether it is because they're disabled or because something happened, whatever it may be, there are people who absolutely need it. But if you are capable of working, if you are physically and mentally capable of working and you're not working, you are the problem with society. There is no getting around that. There is absolutely no getting around that. If you can, but you won't, you're the problem. And there are absolutely ways that people can help other people get a leg up in this world, but it's because people are completely selfish, completely greedy, and as we have the greediest and most disgusting human beings at the top of corporations that are not helping the people at the bottom. It's the fact that they will line their pockets and they will do whatever they can to get their own pay raises without raising the pay of the people at the very bottom. There should be a not a minimum wage, but a maximum wage. A maximum wage of maybe, even something insane like 10 times. If like the CEO wants to make 10 times as much money as the least paid person, you're still making an exorbitant amount of money. But that's the problem. If you want to get paid more, pay your people more. Make the incentive for people to work and actually build your business, have it be better. And so you're getting paid more. You're getting paid 10 times as much as the lowest paid person. But if the lowest paid person is getting paid pennies, then you're only getting 10 pennies. This is how, it's just greed that functions this entire community right now, or this entire society. And unfortunately, we have an entire government that is functioning on, what is my next raise? Who do I need to screw over to get into my position again? How can I gain more power? Rather than actually paying attention to what the country needs. And I do not care about your feelings. Put the person that's actually going to do something for this country into office. And there are other options between this freaking lunatic of a person. He is completely senile. There is no... He will die before the end of his next term. So putting him into office is just stupid. And I promise you this, Kamala Harris, she's garbage. She's pulling stuff out of her butt. She lies through her teeth. And if you cannot see that, you are completely delusional. She is a liar. Not that hardly anyone else in government is any better, but there's better than her. So anyway, now that we've talked politics and I've shot myself in the foot as far as our one listener probably, I don't know. But you know what? That's just the truth of it. I don't care about your feelings. Shove them up your butt because it ain't doing nothing but food on your table. If you want to eat your emotions, go ahead. It ain't going to fill you up though. Dear Lord.
Sorry I asked.
So what are your thoughts on that? Who are you voting for?
I don't know. I don't think... Not to be this person, but I don't know if I'm going to. I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong. But I don't want to feel like I picked the wrong thing and feel responsible. Even if I feel like I'm picking the right thing in the moment, I don't want things to turn kind of how they did this term and then feel like I made the wrong decision.
Yeah. I kind of hope that, no offense, I don't know if you were or not, but I kind of hope the people who did vote for Biden are kicking themselves because good job. Good job.
I don't want to kick myself later.
So that's the thing. Everyone always says it's your right to vote. You need to vote. You need to actually exercise your rights and everything. But at the same time, the reason we have the Electoral College, the reason our government is set up in the way that it is because people are stupid.
Yeah.
People are stupid. They don't know what they're voting for. And so if you want to genuinely vote, if you want your vote to truly matter, you do have to actually keep up on these things and you do actually have to make an informed decision rather than just checking a box just to say that you voted. Make it actually count. So I see where you're coming from, that you don't feel like you're well informed enough to make a proper decision and therefore you don't want to add to the problem.
Yeah.
But on the counter side of that is if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
So it can kind of go either way. I understand that. So
Maybe I haven't decided that I'm not going to, but a big part of me doesn't want to.
While I am definitely someone who's like, yeah, we have the right to vote, we should absolutely exercise that right. I'm also not going to judge anybody for not voting, because I understand, like, this is a very important decision. You have to make it informed.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, do what's best for your country, not for your feelings.
So what I'm learning about in class right now is that, like, the people who are in the middle, like, who are low information voters, or just people who aren't informed, they're easy to sway. So that's why you see, like, posts on Facebook where it's like Hillary Clinton with, like, devil horns. People are like, oh, I'm not going to vote for her. Like,
it's propaganda at the finest. Yeah. And that's what propaganda. That's what propaganda is. It's just to entice the easily enticed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a smokescreen. That's all government is anymore. It's just this. The thing that drives me absolutely insane. Again, I do not care what side of the aisle you're on. I'm actually a big supporter in getting rid of the sides and everything, because that's what causes a lot of the big problems. If government was run more anonymously, things would be better. If legislation and laws were presented anonymously, not red or blue, then people would be actually focusing on what the legislation, the content of it, rather than who it's coming from.
That's interesting.
Now I know why there are sides, and I know this and that and everything. There's just got to be a better way of running it anymore, because now we've gotten to a place where our government and our society are too big and too useless. That's the problem. We've jumped through hoops so much that it's become useless in the way that it's functioning. So it's broke, now we got to fix it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Something about... Oh, crap. Oh, that's it. I cannot stand during election time when I'm seeing commercials and the entire thing is, my opponent's doing this and this and this and this is terrible and he's going to do that. I don't care what your opponent is doing. What are you going to do to help your country? Yeah. Make me like you rather than hate the other person. Well, because all that does, all that does is make me think, okay, you're just a hateful person bashing on other people. You're not a good person. You're just a hateful. And it's just like, make me like you rather than hate them. I think that's the thing,
though, is they think that, like, they might not be able to get you to like them, so they can at least get you to not like the other guy.
And I just want, honestly...
It's stupid, but
the thing I want to see is somebody out there saying, listen, here's my idea, here's the projection for it. The thing is, anything that you're going to put into place is going to cause stir-ups, and is going to make... Everything is going to look a little worse before it gets better, because everything has to find its new rhythm. Mm-hmm. And when you're finding a new rhythm of something, it's going to look bad. So... You have to give the time for the projections to actually take effect and actually start getting into that rhythm. And that's what everyone always says. It's like, oh, the good times run over into the next term. And it's like, that's kind of, in a way, that's kind of true, because with only a 4-year term, that's when, if you want to put legislations into place, that those 4 years, even if you put it into place day one, it's going to take about 4 years or something for that chaos to settle down, and then to start into a rhythm of actually improving. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I was like, oh, it's always the next president who takes on the chaos of the one before, and they're stuck just cleaning up the messes and everything. It's like, I don't know. There's got to be a better way to go about this. And putting
it doesn't help that politicians are so out of touch with reality.
They're ancient.
Not even that. They're so rich.
They are so, and that's another thing. Term limits have got to be a thing. People are not in government anymore because it used to be a position of honor, and it used to be like, I want to do something good for my country. Now it's just like, this is power, this is status and wealth.
Yeah.
You're ancient. Leave. I'm sorry, if you can't even properly drive a car, who are you to make laws that affect people who are going to and fro? Like, no. No. If there are minimum, because you have to be 35 to be president. If there's a minimum age requirement, there should be a max.
Maximum.
And I'm sorry, but if you're a senile old person, retirement in America is 65. Guess what retirement also should relate to? President of the United States. Get out! Oh my gosh, it's so irritating. I'm like, you are completely senile. You need to be in a home, not in the White House.
Well, that
Oh
and
my
like,
gosh.
what was it? Was it Donald Trump that like set up like him going to the grocery store thing where he like, was it him? Where they like cleared out a grocery store. He like rented it out and like to make it look like he was like
I'm a real boy.
he like didn't know what was going. I don't know if it was him, but they like just had no clue. It was like didn't know how like self checkout worked. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
Just completely out of checker reality.
Yeah.
I cannot handle just the stupidity. It's just stupid.
So like, what do we do? Like, should we go to Italy?
Honestly, I've been thinking about picking up and moving to Scotland. My thing is, everyone always says that, you know what, I'm just going to move. That's not actually going to solve anything. But we do need to address the fact that this country is so large that it cannot be painted with it can't be painted with one paintbrush. This is entirely too diverse of a country to paint with one paintbrush.
Yeah.
And the problem is that one state is the size of however many countries in other places. And so if we treated each state like its own country and that's why, so let's back up a little bit and address the fact that what used to be Republican and Democratic used to be Republicans were more give power to the people, individual states.
Yeah.
And Democrat was like, let's have the government just kind of, you know, give more power to the government. It was just a displacement of who's giving power where.
Yeah.
And kind of control. So now it's all purely liberal versus conservative.
Yeah.
That is so feelings based. That is so sociologically based rather than politically and economically. I am definitely more a economical focused. Where are we at? Okay. I need to wrap this up. But so I'm definitely more economically focused in my politics, whereas everybody who's voting, it seems like it's a social issue. It's always who's going to make sure everyone's feelings are up, you know, in spotlight and who's going to get the most for their ethnicity. I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. America was supposed to be that place where your culture, your ethnicity, your background, it did not matter because we were one country and we just, you do you, boo. We don't care. You do you, and as long as you're not hurting anybody else, that's fine with us because this is not, and so people are always like, oh, this used to be a Christian country and this used to be this and this used to be that. You know, as a Christian, I'm like, I would love for everybody to come to Jesus kind of thing. But I'm also realistic enough to know that this was never a Christian nation. This was a wherever you're from and whatever religion you have, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because in other countries, like if you weren't a specific religion, you got nixed. This country was never supposed to be like that.
Right.
And so let's just throw that away. And this is, like I said, I am more economically based. And so when you have economics that do not work widespread, because like I said, each individual state is like its own country with its own values, with its own cultures and everything, with its own ways of making money. You have some that are completely city run and therefore very urban places. Then you have very rural places that are all farmland. You have different places that have money coming in different ways. You have to treat them differently. And so that's why like New York is so frustrated because New York is 100% Democratic voting. It's a blue state through and through, except it's not. You have New York City that is blue because it is so urban. It is so city. You cannot get away from the way a city is run and the mechanics of that kind of thing. Whereas the rest of New York is very rural. So if you nix New York City out of the way, we are a red state. There's no getting around that. But because of the way our government works, it paints it with one brush. And you cannot do that. Like, it's so frustrating. So at the very least, we do need to start treating things more in a state way. Like I said, New York is kind of screwed if you do that no matter what. But if you just started that and then start to kind of boil it down into counties even, then we can actually start getting somewhere. But treat individual states as their own little countries. Let the states have a little bit more control. And so that's why you're seeing like, again, this is a social issue, but something like things like gay marriage and abortion, and each state has a very different view on what that is. Yeah. And that's why you have so much division throughout the entire country, because you're painting it all with one decision rather than letting the states decide for themselves, because like calls to like. Different cultures will congregate in different states and everything depending on what that state can offer and what is the majority of that state's kind of culture. Like, people will group together, and therefore that state will say, hey, this is something that we as a majority agree with, so we're going to have that, whereas our neighboring state agree with something different. Treat it differently. And then when it comes to broad stroke economics and everything, when it comes to foreign affairs, that's when big government can come into play.
Right.
You know, let the states focus on themselves. Let the big country focus on the other big countries and do whatever. And just like, it's just so stupid. I don't know. But I just know, it's like, you know, people always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's obviously broke, so stop doing the same old thing.
Yeah. It's broke. Fix it.
It's broke. So yeah. Sorry, I went off. You know I like this kind of stuff, so.
I'm glad.
What are your thoughts?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I don't know enough about it.
You just brought up so I could go off.
Yeah, well, that's why I ask questions about it, because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I spout off a whole lot, but again, I don't know specifics enough to be able to give numbers and statistics and all that kind of thing. So I just I just think in terms and what makes sense in my head. And I don't know. Here's a really good fact. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me.
This is a fact.
This is a fact.
Everything we say is a lie. Fact.
Comes straight out the butt.
Fact.
Yeah.
Straight out the butt.
Oh, we should call it that. Facts straight from the butt.
That's great.
Okay. I'm ready for gelato.
Me too. I can't wait.
I am that weirdo. I'm the self-proclaimed mom that's like, you have to eat dinner before dessert.
But you have to eat.
I have to eat lunch before we have dessert.
Well, I think that makes more sense, and you're hungry. Do you know... I'm going to tell you what flavors there are today.
This is the Creameria in Clinton, New York, folks. Check
Go
it out.
there.
Check it out. What is that from? Check it out.
We have vanilla, dark chocolate, stracciatella, which is like chocolate chip, peanut butter, strawberry, Sicilian lemon, banana, I've never tried that one, and milk chocolate.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm. Mm.
And yes, gelato is so interesting because it's like you only get a little bit, but it's so much richer. So you have to eat it slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because this is Italian. This is genuinely Italian.
It's legit.
Yeah.
It's so legit. Like, all of her, like, machinery that makes it is from Italy. Like, she will not use stuff that's made in the U.S.
That's amazing.
I know. It's so cool.
So legit.
She'll have to tell you more about it when we go. Because I only know kind of surface information about it. But it's so interesting. And...
Well, I read the About Us thing. My aunt sent me the link, and it was just like... It's like a family love of gelato turned into actually going to Italy and studying it and bringing it back and all that. So that's cool. That's really cool.
It's really cool.
Okay. As if I didn't talk and rant enough. It's okay.
What are we doing, Bible study?
Yeah. Just a real quick one. Just something that I had highlighted from before. Just that I think is just really stinking awesome. Let's see. Reading through the Bible, and then I hit a couple verses that just hit a little harder, or just touch a personal part of my life, whatever. So in Luke 11, it's verses 9 through 13. Mm-hmm. The big one that people mostly stop with is 9 and 10. Luke 11, verse 9, and I tell you, ask and it will be given, Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Most people stop there. Amazing, amazing verses. But even more than that is the next few verses. What father among you, if his son asks for a fish, will instead of a fish give him a serpent? Or if he asks for an egg, will give him a scorpion? If then you who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will the Heavenly Father give the Holy Spirit to those who ask him? I love that. So I just want to back up and clarify one thing real quick, that the verse that says, if you then who are evil know how to give good gifts, that's not saying like people are just straight up evil, but we're capable of evil. Mm-hmm. We are able to sin. You know, we are able to be incredibly selfish. We sometimes even rejoice in the fallings of other people. But when you have a loved one, a family member, a child, someone that you do truly, genuinely love and you want the best for, even though you are capable of great, horrible things, when you love someone, you want the best for them. And if they ask for something, you're going to go to the great lengths to be able to give it to them. And how much more incredible is it to know that our Heavenly Father, who loves us unconditionally, so perfectly, will go to such incredible, perfect lengths to give you what it is that you need and what you want when you truly seek Him and seek it with all your heart, when He is not capable of evil. And that's the crazy part about it. He is not capable of evil. He is not capable of anything bad. He wants nothing but good and love for you. And then if you can trust somebody in your own life who is capable of evil to try to give you good things, He is only capable of good things. So to Him giving you all the things that you want, it's just, it's so cool. It's so cool. And I just love that, you know, if you ask, it will be given. If you seek it, and you will find it. And if you knock, it will be open to you. That ask, seek, and knock is also ASK. Ask.
Oh,
I just love that. I think that's so cool. But yeah, like if you just open your heart to it and everything, and you just want what He wants for you, it will only ever be good. And even though life is not perfect, because we have free will and we have the consequences of our free will, and we also
fiction.
You're killing me, man.
I'm just
You're killing me. So true. But we do live in a world that's not perfect, but we have a perfect Heavenly Father who will do anything and everything He can to show us that He is perfect and heavenly and loves us unconditionally. And I just think that's really awesome. And really encouraging. Because like as someone who didn't have a great relationship with their father, whose correction and discipline came through shame and disappointment, because like I remember this one time, I had just wrapped up with a tennis game and I had lost and I was upset, as anyone who was passionate about a game would be. And instead of, you know, it kind of encouraged me, like, and saying, you know, you didn't win this time, you're gonna get, you know, instead of encouraging me through the disappointment, my dad was like, you were such a horrible sportsman, you were so embarrassing, I'm so disappointed. And I'm just like, I just shriveled. And I was like, his correction, or what he thought, I guess he was correcting me with, and it was just shameful. Rather than God, who, when you mess up, He's gonna be like, hey, you're better than that. I believe in you. You can do so much better than that because I made you better than that. You're kinder than that. You're smarter than that. You're more loving than that. You can do better. Let's do better. His correction comes through love. Because like, and there's another verse, and I can't remember exactly which one it is, but what father who loves their child is not going to correct them and discipline them when they're doing something wrong? That is the true father. Someone who is going to guide you into better things. And so as someone who did not have a great relationship with their earthly father, to know that I have a heavenly father who is going to just love me to betterness, that's awesome. So yeah. Ask and you will find, or ask and you will be given it to you. Seek and you will find, and knock and it will be open to you. And just seek God with all your heart and soul and mind and strength and serve Him. And it's just like, you're just getting love out of that, man. Okay. So I just wanted to wrap that up. that was really disjointed. My thoughts are all over the place with that just because it's mind-boggling how awesome he is.
Did you say that
So
you're
cheesy.
kicking your fanfiction addiction by reading more fanfiction?
No. I'm just simply trying to kick the fan fiction, and I'm going back to the source. This is the original
That doesn't
book.
make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And like I said, I'm failing miserably in my attempts to kick this addiction. It's pretty bad. But hey, I never said follow me. Don't do what I do. I'm like the example of what not to do. But no, like
going to the source. What does that mean? How does that help?
I'm rereading the original books
and
because
that's gonna help you not read more fanfiction.
Make it make
You
sense.
just wanted to read fanfiction. I think you just needed a roundabout way to say that you're gonna read fanfiction.
No,
anyway.
I'm gonna stop reading fanfiction and I'm going to read the original book series again so I can have the canon happenings, and I'm topping it off with the real stuff. I'm going name brand here.
Brand. Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 3, Chapter 4.
It's 14, 15, 14, 15, 16. Thank you.
My bad.
And actually, I just ordered these recently, and she did fix. There was a typo. It
How
used
did
to
she
say.
not notice the 14, 15, 14, 15, 16?
I don't know. That's still
That's
in
like
here.
way more chapters than there would have been.
I don't know, but I love it. I'm so glad it's still in here. She did mix up one typo where it said that Neil was 5 inches taller than Aaron and Andrew, and he's only 3 inches taller, and it's now fixed in this. So I'm pretty happy about that, because that was driving me nuts. But I'm just glad the 14, 15, 14, 15 is still in it. So, I'm reading the original series, yes, and I'm trying to avoid the fan fiction. It was because fan fiction was taking up all of my time.
So now you're...
So now I already read this, so it's not like I have to sit and binge read it. I can just read it when I can. So,
Sure. That
listen,
makes sense.
it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I know it doesn't make sense. Don't do what I do.
Oh, I won't read. You don't have to worry about me reading. Nuh-uh. Nope.
You're gonna read my book when I ever write it?
Sure. Can you do
Sure.
audiobook?
I mean, I can sit here and read it to you.
Story time.
I can do live audiobook.
I loved being read to when I was a kid. I never read.
I hated the homework little booklets, the little paper booklets that we had to take home in kindergarten, and we had to read it to our parents, and they would have to sign it to prove that we read it. I got so irritated because I was like, Mom, Dad, you know I can read. I'm really good at reading. I don't want to do this. And they're like, they made me read it.
Nah.
And I would speed read it. I was like, this is so stupid. I would speed read through it. And I was like, here, sign it.
I never had that.
Oh, yeah. We had little paper booklets. I wish I kept them.
English.
Huh?
Shirley English. That stupid sentence thing
Oh,
I was
yeah.
telling you about the one day. Period. Statement. Declarative sentence.
That takes me back to like 6th grade English and like picking out all the pieces and parts of a sentence. And I'm like, who cares?
Did you read Hatchet? I loved Hatchet.
No, I never.
Oh, I think we talked about this. I loved that book.
We read Crispin and the Cross of Lead. That was a heavy book. That was rough. We also read The Slave Dancer in middle school. We read that as well.
A classic.
Yeah. Did you ever read it?
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. Heavy reads. Crispin and the Cross of Lead, both like and The Slave Dancer, both very heavy reads. This kid somewhere in Africa, he had like a flute or something, and he was just walking home from school, or so he was walking home someday, and he had his flute in his hand, and he was kidnapped, and he was put on a slave boat.
Is this true?
No, I don't think this is true.
Oh.
It's a book I read. He was kidnapped. He was put on a slave ship, and he was the slave dancer. He would play music as the slaves would, because it was like their exercise time or something, and he would play music, and the slaves would be forced to dance as a form of exercise. And he was forced on these slave ships for a while just to play music, and one of the slave ships ended up getting into a wreck, and him and one of the slave boys ended up getting rescued, and he finally managed to make it home after a couple years. It's just like, you're making middle schoolers read this.
We
This is
had to read
heavy.
A Child Called It, or we had it read to us.
Oh,
Have
rough.
you heard of that one?
I've
Have you
heard of
read
it. I never.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That book is crazy.
We read Flowers for Algernon.
I read that in high school, though.
Mhm.
But I don't really remember. There was a mouse, there was a guy. He was dumb, then he was smart. Then he died.
Accurate, yes.
That's
about it.
That's kind of all
Yeah, that's about it. Yep.
that I remember. I remember reading, what do you call it? 1984?
Oh yeah, I never read that one. We read Pay It Forward. I have never sobbed so hard in all my life than in that book. It was the one line after, spoiler alert, after the little boy dies and the mom is like having a funeral. So it's this boy who starts a school project called Pay It Forward, and he just does a small favor for somebody, and he's like, pay it forward to 3 people, and it ends up spreading across the country, this Pay It Forward movement. And then something happens, the little boy ends up dying tragically, and because the movement has spread nationwide, he is known nationwide, so his death was basically televised, and it was like this whole big thing. And so his funeral, all these cameras and reporters and everything are at his funeral, and his mom is just like, I just want to say goodbye to my son. I just want to say goodbye to my little boy. And I lost it.
So sad.
I mean, I had to put the book down, and I sobbed, and I just like puking and dry heaving from sobbing so hard.
Oh my god.
I was like, I can't do it anymore. Oh my gosh, that was rough, man. It
We
was rough.
read A Raisin in the Sun,
Ew, raisins.
and yeah. And there was like the N-word in it, and we had to like act it out because it was a play.
Huh?
And so the teacher was like, to this one girl, was like, it's up to you if you want to say it. And she did.
She's like, my chance. Here's my one chance.
She
I have
said it.
permission.
A few times.
Oh my.
And I like to have that information back here, because I think I'm the only person who remembers that. But she said it.
Was it? Who was it? It wasn't Donald Glover, was it? Glover?
Yeah.
Who was just like
Yeah.
the ASL
With this-
interpreter?
Yeah, it was him.
There's a word for that. They have a sign for it usually.
That's not the sign for it, though.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, it was, but it was also plus.
Because
short.
it was
No, I remember now.
lit. It was
Yeah.
lit. A little baby one.
So it was the sign plus short.
Yeah.
I
Sign
remember
plus
now.
like child or like
Yeah,
small. Oh, that was funny.
That's
Any
fine.
hootie. Great place to leave this off.
That was weird. No, let's go somewhere else really quick.
So we're gonna go get gelato.
I'm super hype. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
I'm gonna let them know that we'll be there.
And are we working here? Or are we working
Yeah, let's do this now.
Okay.
Let's just get it over with.
Okay. It's not really a get it over with kind of thing. I need you to show me how to do it. Wait, have you downloaded anything to our drive? Because that's where I'll need it.
The
clips and
but
everything
that
to
doesn't
our
take
drive.
me long to do. I can do that really fast.
Okay.
Most of them, not most of them.
Mm.
The first half is there. And then I
The
stopped
first like
doing it.
third are there. I think. We're at almost like, what are we at?
45?
Yeah, we're at almost, and I think there's like maybe 12. No,
No,
that's maybe
there's
17.
gotta be more than
Maybe
that.
there's 17. There's either 12 or 17.
That doesn't take me long to do, though.
Okay. So it's just a matter of getting those videos and downloading it onto my Final Cut Pro. I don't know what this was. I don't know what this little gesture was.
That's what you need help with?
No, it's not that. Like, I can get it there, but it's a matter of shrinking the file enough. Because when it sits in there, the file is huge, and it doesn't have to be that big. You can shrink it down, and I don't know how to do that.
We'll figure it out.
This
Maybe.
is great to listen to. If there's anybody who would like to voluntarily offer their time to be our editor, that'd be great. We can't pay you.
No. We can pay you with maybe our company sometimes, if you're fun. If you're not fun, then we won't do that.
We can broadcast you occasionally. You can get on our level. So yeah, if you have a bunch of free time and you are a good editor, hit us up. Okay.
Bye.
Talk at you next week.
That was so bad.
That was bad. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how to do this anymore.
Talk at you next week? Question mark?